In order to stop Azrael, Bruce Wayne may need to give it all up, but will that even be enough? Let's find out together, shall we, as we jump into the pages of Batman Curse of White Knight issue number 7, the penultimate issue in this Bat series, to find out. So, this issue actually opens up with a flashback to little Bruce on the day of his parents' funeral. We see the Wayne family swords again, which now that I stop and think about it, actually ended up playing a much bigger, more recurring role throughout this book, but I'm only now figuring it out. It's Alfred actually who promised to help Bruce learn how to fight so that he would never be scared again, and I think we all pretty much know how that turned out. Now back in the present, Batman is still reeling from the truth he discovered in the last issue, and that is he's not actually a descendant from the Wayne family at all. Worse still, the cops managed to crack open Ruth's files and discovered that all the dirty money that the Gotham 1%ers have been using to puppeteer everything bad that's been going on in this book, well, they just so happened to route it through Wayne Enterprises, meaning that our hero truly feels cursed. Bruce is devastated, and rightly so, but it's actually Harley of all people who ends up talking sense. Sure, he might not be a Wayne, but his parents didn't know that. He didn't know that. Sure, he might not be a Wayne in blood, but he still has tried to live up to the family's history, defending those who needed it, using their vast fortune to do good work, basically being a modern-day knight, if you will. Why, they even imply that Harley might be having romantic feelings for Bruce, which I certainly didn't see coming. Now, Azrael managed to slink away at the end of the fight in the previous issue, and now he's really starting to fall apart. The cancer is going to kill him soon, and with Ruth dead, he can't get a hold of any new medicine. Much like a cornered animal, though, being this banged up might actually prove to make him more dangerous, if that was even possible. It's also in this issue, too, we find out the ultimate fate of Barbara Gordon. It seems that she beats the odds and just barely manages to start walking again after her own run-in with Azrael. Batman comes seeking her counsel, much like he did her father's. He tells Barbara that he plans to out his identity to the city, taking a page from Jack Napier's own playbook and throwing himself on Gotham's mercy, and when he does, he hopes that his friends and allies will continue to stand by him afterwards. In fact, this might actually be the only way to beat the elites, because outing himself as Batman can make sure their dirty deeds end up seeing the light of day. How does Batman choose to get his message out there? No, not the internet, that would be too simple. Instead, he plans to do what so many Batman villains before him have done, and take control of the Gotham airwaves, because it's just that easy. When Batman addresses the city, he talks about how when his crusade on crime began in its golden age, things were so much easier, but times have changed, threats have become more devious, and the best way Batman can fight them is by coming forward. Moreover than that, he wants to stick it to the elites by giving away his own personal fortune, funding Gotham's social programs for decades to come, and making sure Gotham will no longer need a Dark Knight to hide in the shadows, because the future will be so bright no one will need to hide. The only catch is Batman asks all of Gotham's citizenry to stay inside until he can bring Azrael to justice. Basically, Bruce asks for permission to be Batman one final time. Granted, Bruce didn't clear any of this with the GTO, so new police Commissioner Montoya isn't a big fan of this plan, but hey, if all of this works out, she won't ever have to deal with vigilantes ever again, most likely. Catching Azrael will be hard without a set of wheels, and while Batman lost pretty much everything when the cave was destroyed, he still managed to keep his favorite Batmobile around, a little classic from '89, the kind of car that you just want to get nuts in. It's not all smooth sailing, though. Nightwing worries about Bruce with Batman's morality no longer hanging over his head. Will Bruce be tempted to avenge Gordon and so many others? Will he cross that uncrossable line when the time comes? And it's on that note right there the comic comes to a close, with Batman off to meet his destiny and maybe his final foe. And so that was Curse of White Knight number 7, everybody, and I thought it was positively stellar. You can tell Murphy is having an absolute blast, not just getting to draw all these amazing Batman images, but also basically breaking every so-called main universe Batman rule he can find. It's a comic story that seeks to meet head-on a lot of complaints that fans have had forever about Batman as a story, and that is, hey, if he's so good, why doesn't he just do blank to save Gotham City? Well, in this story, he totally does. In fact, we also got word today via Murphy's own Twitter that while this might be the end of Batman as we know it, the Murphyverse will continue with new projects under new writers overseen by the man himself, which is pretty damn exciting. And you gotta figure too, even after Azrael is defeated in this story, there's still so many more places to go. Naturally, the greater evil of the elites has been exposed, but they're not just gonna go away because they got caught. What of Batgirl and Nightwing? How will they react in a Gotham post-Batman? What about Red Hood? Will he ever come back? What does Bruce Wayne's own life look like without Batman in it? Will he end up pursuing a romantic relationship with Harley Quinn? Again, lots of interesting places they could go. I would give this issue, though, a 9.5 out of 10. It was pretty great.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing me right now, it means you watched to the end of the video, of which I will always be appreciative of. It really helps with retention and all that other good YouTube stuff. If you really like my work, you can check me out on social media. I have links down in the description of the video you're watching right now to all my different socials. I got the Twitter, I got the Instagram, I got the Facebook. I'm very easy to be reached, and if you follow me there, you can be the first to know about when a new video goes live. And with that, I will bid you all adieu. Bye-bye.